Aloha everybody, I'm Kaleo.
And I'm Jay.
And together we're the Taurus Ohana. What? I wasn't even ready. What was
I don't know, I just feel like we were like we were doing like a Power Rangers.
You can't see, but I got my feet doing this. This video will be 10 things that we wish tourists knew before going to Hawaii. 5 things as a Hawaiian that grew up in Hawaii, in Kaneohe, 44%. I will be giving my 5 things that I wish tourists knew. And my wife, who is from San Diego, will be giving 5 things that she wish she knew before coming to Hawaii. First thing that I wish more tourists knew before coming to Hawaii is that the wildlife, so the turtles, the seals that you see, is prohibited. You can't be touching those. Those are against the law. You need to stay a certain amount of feet away from them. So that's my number 1.
So number 2, coming from a Mainlander. So as you know, in California, our speed limit is technically 65, but you know we'd be flying it at 85, and that's flow of traffic. In Hawaii, that does not fly. So just make sure that you check the speed limit. Typically it is 60 on the freeway, and usually anywhere from 25 to maybe 40 on the regular street. So just make sure that you check. You also want to look into like just driving etiquette. You don't want to be cutting people off. Also, honking in Hawaii is actually considered very rude. It's very aggressive. So you don't want to honk unless there is an emergency. And of course, don't forget to throw shaka whenever somebody lets you in, or if you want to let somebody else in. So yeah, just don't be aggressive on the road.
Point 3, I wish more tourists understood that Hawaii isn't a garbage can and that we actually have trash cans for your opala to dump designated waste bins to be used. I know driving here in San Diego on the side of the road, get choked trash, plastic bags, cups, whatever. In Hawaii, we don't have that. We don't have that problem unless you're like in Cali. But we don't have that problem mainly because everyone malama aina. It is a common code amongst all the kamaaina in Hawaii to malama aina, which means to take care of the land. So whenever you have trash, please put it in the right bins. Recycles for recycles, trash for trash. It's not that difficult. Figure it out. Don't just throw them out the window.
Point number 4. Some people might get a little upset about me mentioning this, but locals really care about Hawaii and they care about the state that it's in. And especially if you're not from there, don't be surprised if somebody is actually going to pick a physical fight with you. So in Hawaii, they call it a scrap. So you do not want to get into a scrap with a local, because I'm telling you right now, you're not going to win. So anyways, like he had said, malama da aina, because honestly, like locals do not mess around with you messing around with their land. Okay, so I just want to throw that out there. Take care of yourself and don't get into fights.
Care about your health. Care about your health. Point number 5 is, despite what a lot of Hawaiians say, haole is not the skin color. It's actually deeper than that. It's the thought process that you bring with you to Hawaii. Same thing for like the trash. If you're gonna be having trash, hold on to it till you can find a trash can. Don't just throw it out the window, because that does make you look really bad. If you are the type of person who cannot wait, learn to wait. Don't be rude, don't be mean, and Hawaii is a very line happy place. If you're the type of person who is very impatient, Hawaii probably isn't the place for you to be visiting. Just letting you know right now. And if you are an impatient person, or you're a not so courteous person, or you're a rude person, don't be surprised if if a local is calling you a haole, because it's a thought process, mentality. For Hawaii, it's a very community first thought process.
Number 6 is, and again, coming from somebody that grew up here in the mainland in San Diego, I knew that you are to call like your elders auntie and uncle, but I didn't realize that it doesn't matter if they're strangers. So if you go to like the market or whatever and you notice the lady is older than you could refer to her as auntie. So you could say, thank you, auntie. It's very respectful, and it's not rude to call somebody auntie if they're older than you. It's actually very respectful. And the same thing with uncle. So again, it goes for strangers. Oh, but obviously if you're like within our age and you're not younger and you can't tell if they're an auntie or uncle, honestly, if you say auntie and uncle and they're probably not an auntie or uncle, they might just tell you. They might get a little offended at first, but at least you tried. But also too, I mean, worst case scenario, if you think they're around your age or whatever, you can always be like, oh, brada or sis or whatever. So just make sure that you refer to people as things. Like I said, it's just very respectful.
For point number 7, I wish more tourists understood how family and community driven Hawaii really is. We're the type of people to watch out for one another. So if we see something, we are the type of people to say something, especially if it's another kama'aina going through something or anything like that. We would most likely, even if it's a stranger, jump in and intervene in some way, shape, or form. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but nonetheless, just understand that you are in another state. You're not from there, so don't try to be better than the people who are actually from there. My father-in-law always tells me whenever we travel, you can't go to another country or you can't go to someplace else and think you're better than the locals who live there, because it's going to create issues. And Hawaii is so community driven that strangers will stand up for strangers and oftentimes will boot out the outsiders. So if you're going to come to Hawaii, come with the mentality that you are going to be having to be adopted into this community. Even if you're coming for a short time and you're coming for a week for vacation, don't think that you're better than a local.
So number 8, actually going back to the traffic, because this isn't something that I understood until I was actually older. He knows exactly what I'm about to say. Plan your day around traffic. Okay, if you think about anything in this video in regards to you traveling and visiting, do yourself a favor and literally plan your day around traffic. Okay, if you're going to hang out on the west side, hang out on the west side. If you hang out on the east side, hang out on the east side. Do not look up multiple different things and not map where you're going. Okay, Hawaii traffic is no joke, especially in Oahu. Oh my gosh, I could not comprehend this until I had to sit in traffic and realize that we are literally sitting here as if there is a crazy emergency on the road. There's a fire going off, lava's flying down the road, everything, okay, because the traffic was stopped, okay, the car was off. So I'm just letting you guys know that double check on the traffic, especially if you're staying in town, aka Waikiki, because traffic is no joke.
My final point number 9, talk about the food. A lot of people will come to Hawaii and they would want Hawaii food, Hawaiian food, and they think Hawaiian barbecue, they think Korean barbecue, they think, barbecue chicken, all that kind of stuff. When I think about Hawaii food, Hawaiian food, I think about squid luau, I think about poi, I think about lau lau, I think about all that kind of stuff that I grew up eating. Now, I will say it straight up, it is an acquired taste. I know Hawaiians that don't like squid luau. I am a Hawaiian who don't like lomi salmon. But the thing is that if I'm gonna go someplace and I'm gonna eat, I'm not gonna disrespect them by being like, oh, this is gross. But again, it's an acquired taste. So if you don't like it, don't be rude, especially the people who are trying to serve it to you. Don't be rude and be like, oh, this is gross. Try your best. I know it's hard. It's gonna be kind of hard. Try your best to put on a happy face, but like, this is interesting. Might not be for me, because as a local who has been in situations where I had met tourists and they're like, hey, let's go try to eat someplace, right? And I would be like, from the beach, being like, hey, I'm gonna go eat at Highway Inn right now. You guys want to come with me? And then I order them squid luau, or I order myself squid luau, and I'll give it to them. It's, like I said, strangers that I don't know, and I gave it to them, and they're like, this is gross. It's disrespectful, dude. Don't say that about my food. Like, this is the food that I grew up eating. This is the stuff I like. I'm not saying that you can't have your own opinion, because you definitely can. Like I said, I don't like lomi salmon, but I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, this is nasty. Not okay is when you're like, ooh.
There's a fine line between like being disrespectful and like talking about your opinion. So
yeah, Hawaii is a society that loves their food and is very proud of their food and will fight you over their food. So that is my final point.
And coming in hot at number 10, especially coming from somebody that is from the mainland. However, a lot of people think that I'm local and I'm not. My husband is local, I am not. Is kama'aina discount. So if you guys did not know, in Hawaii, sorry, he knows, because he knows. If you guys didn't know, in Hawaii, they do offer local people, aka kama'aina discount. So it can be anywhere from 10%, even up to like 30% I've seen. and it can be at food places, it could be for tickets, and basically the thing is that usually there are people that are not from Hawaii or people that try to pass as locals that will happily ask for kama'aina discount.
If you can't pronounce the word kama'aina, chances are you're not kama'aina.
So perfect example, just to give you guys some insight, we were eating some shave ice in Kauai, and basically it was a small spot, which again, and that creates a whole conversation in itself, just being local owned. So you're asking for kama'aina discount from local owned and you're not kama'aina. Anyways, so we saw this lady that clearly is not kama'aina, nor did she know how to pronounce it. And she had asked the person at the cashier if she could get kama'aina discount. And this sweet girl literally paused. We heard the pause in her because she was like, I'm not trying to give this lady kama'aina discount.
She still had her California's license. She still had she didn't have a Hawaii state ID. She just had a story saying that,
Yeah, saying this is somebody that has been offered kama'aina discount multiple times, and I have actually openly declined, even from when my husband's like, oh babe, like take the kama'aina discount, and I'm like, I just don't feel like that's right, considering like that is also the money that's helped people that actually live there. And obviously, as you know, Hawaii is a very expensive place to live, and it's kind of like also further taking advantage of the people. I only quote unquote take kama'aina discount if my husband is with me, because he's clearly kama'aina, but you will never catch me asking for it. So my point to you is, if you find out about kama'aina or you just found out about it now, please do not ask for it, because it is not a discount for everybody. And lastly, again, asking for kama'aina discount and you're not kama'aina is just another way to get in a scrap. So
or at least embarrass yourself.
or that too, yeah.
You're just embarrassing yourself. I'll just throw in this last bonus one, number 11, just a bonus. Kind of going back to what she said, support local. I wish more tourists were to support local. We have it all on our airplanes when you're flying in. Hawaiian, Alaska, they all have it. They're all advertising local stuff. Don't come to Hawaii and try to eat McDonald's. Although Hawaii McDonald's is different, I will say that. But don't have it breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Go out, try something different. I'll put like Palace Saimin, for example. If you never had Palace Saimin, the parking is nuts, the area is sketchy, but the food is good. Okay, if you can get in that small little 2-tree parking lot, that's money. Or you can park down the road and walk. That's totally fine. But Palace Saimin, for example, is a small business. It's been there since I was a kid, and it's delicious. It's ono. It's stand the test of time in that little area. Now there's all kinds of car dealerships and all kinds of stuff that's popping up. But that thing is ono. That's just an example. Support local, small businesses, hole in the wall, family-owned businesses is what you want to do if you're gonna be going to Hawaii. It's unavoidable sometimes, but try to avoid going to places that you can actually have access to in the mainland. It's mundane, it's boring. Try something different.
Yeah, you spend a $900 plane ticket. You
Might as well get something different. At the very least. Might as well get something different. I'll shout out Waihole Poi Factory. They've been there since I was a kid. Food there is ono. Like I said, it's an acquired taste. I would give it a shot at the very least. If not, head there, get yourself a sweet lady of Waihole. That thing is ono. And that's about it. And then, as always, go ahead and shop my brand, kama'ainacorner.com, to get this cool hat that I'm wearing. And also this cool shirt that I'm wearing. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. For Kanye. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And if you're Filipino, don't forget to check out helikulit.com as well for all of your Filipino gear.
And also like, comment, and subscribe, especially if you are a local from Hawaii that live there and you want other tourists to know that I miss. Or if you're a tourist coming in to Hawaii and you've been there plenty times, or if you have a question about it, if it's your first time coming, drop it in the comments. We can follow out there and we can have a discussion about everything. This has been us. We have been we, and we are out. Aloha. Mahalo for watching. Aloha.